Now at 6, authorities in Cherokee County recover the remains believed to be those of a missing teenager. Plus, drivers in the Sunflower State have a new law to help maintain road safety, and more springtime events at Wildcat Glades means a need for more volunteers.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Authorities in Cherokee County, Kansas recovered the remains of a teenager they believe who had been missing for more than 15 months. This is KOIM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. Missing person posters have been displayed on some area businesses since 19-year-old Jaden Santini was reported missing in December of 2023. He had last been seen in November of 23, and the family said he could be in the Miami, Oklahoma or Joplin area. Cherokee County Sheriff's Department says they received a call reporting the discovery of skeletal remains in a wooded area just west of Columbus. There were personal items in the area which point to the identity of the person as Santini. There is no evidence of foul play, they say, and no one else is being sought in connection with this incident. The remains have been turned over to the coroner's office for official identification. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty now for our first look at the weather.
Well, it turned out to be a great Monday for us today. Temperatures pretty good. Most of us 70 to about 75 degrees, and we see mainly 70s as we go through this week. We are going to get some rain chances in here later on this week. Some showers, a few late Wednesday, a little better chance as we get into Thursday morning. But some thunderstorm chances late Saturday night, into Sunday. Some of those could be strong to low-grade severe, so we're going to be keeping our eyes on that as we go through the week. 71 in Joplin, 72 is where we stand in Pittsburgh. We got mid-70s once you get out into our western counties. Through the evening, 70s, 60s, 50s. We'll bottom out kind of 48-ish later on tonight. We have a weak little system kind of passing by to our north, so we are going to be kind of in and out of the clouds tonight and tomorrow. We're going to look at those thunderstorm chances, though, for you here in just a bit.
Catching a few. Drivers on Kansas highways will be required to move over when passing stationary vehicles displaying hazardous warning lights. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly today signed that bill into law. Now, historically, move-over protections have been limited to emergency personnel. Over time, those protections included road service vehicles, utility, and tow trucks. Under this new law, move-over protections will apply to all highway vehicles displaying hazard lights. A supporter says 82 crashes occurred in Kansas from 2018 to 2023 with someone in a vehicle while on the side of the road. Tax season's in full swing, and the Parsons Public Library has a program that might interest people struggling with the filing process. The library is hosting a series of free in-person tax assistance events with the help of AARP. The event's open to anyone of any age, but especially people over the age of 50 or who can't afford tax preparation.
We've seen a need for tax services. We've lost some of our local preparers. And then through my work with Medicare and counseling, I've seen a lot of seniors that are really trying to keep as much money in their pockets every month. And being able to offer free tax services does that, especially during tax season, because they don't have to pay a preparer to get their taxes done.
Now, while that event is free and open to the public, participants should call the library to reserve an appointment. Tax assistance program is going to run every Monday until April the 14th. The arrival of spring means plenty of fun events are on the horizon at Wildcat Glades Nature Group. However, the group has only a few staff members, which means many of their events are run by volunteers. And as KOIM's Melissa Alexis reports, the need for volunteers is growing.
My favorite part is working in the nature store and helping with the program.
Vicki Cassidy, the education chair for Wildcat Glades Nature Group, likes to spend her free time volunteering.
I do a preschool program twice a month. We have others that do older kids programs every month. We have hikes. We have a Tuesday crew that are all volunteers, and they maintain our area, our grounds, the trail.
Robin Standridge, the group's executive director, says there's a huge need for volunteers year-round, but especially now with the weather warming up and tons of events planned.
If we don't have enough volunteers, our programs get smaller. We have to leave different parts out. Maybe it's a portion of may the force be with you, that we can't pull off because we don't have enough people to do that. It's a very, very important to have those volunteers in place.
She says volunteers are so crucial, and last-minute cancellations from volunteers can cause the event to suffer.
It puts a lot of added stress on staff. It does, and the quality of the program, the quality of the event actually really goes down considerably.
Children have to wait on something, or maybe the materials aren't passed out correctly, or maybe the grass needs to get mowed, or just volunteers take care of all those issues.
Standridge says she gives props to volunteers for helping make events possible.
If you come to a Wildcat event and everything runs really smoothly, you know that our volunteers have shown up and they are on it.
Reporting in Joplin, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
The process to become a volunteer with the group includes an application and an interview. Pitt State women's basketball team takes one step closer to an NCAA title. John Dales has a preview coming up later in sports, but up first.
Allergy season is among us. Don't worry, I got you covered. I spoke to a local pharmacist on what you can do to protect yourself. I'm Lonnie Walton in Miami. I'll have that story coming up.
A volunteer firefighter in Logan County, Oklahoma, lost his home and his puppy while out protecting the community during last week's wildfires. Now the community is working to get him back on his feet. Olivia Hickey has that story. Apparently we're having some technical problems with that story. We'll see if we can have that for you a little bit later. Still to come, the Mid-America Baseball League has some big playoff news. John has that story coming up.
Plus, the nice temperatures stick around, but also some thunderstorms in the forecast. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it turned out to be a nice Monday for us today after a pretty good weekend as well. Temperatures for us today kind of in that 70 to 75 degree range. A little bit of a breeze, nothing like we have seen over the past couple of weeks, which is good. Great shot. Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex Tower Cam. We are looking in downtown Joplin. All right, 70 in Lamar, 74 in Miami, 71 in Bentonville. Neodesha is sitting at about 75 degrees. Through the evening, 70s, 60s, 50s. Eventually we'll bottom out kind of in that 48 to 50 degree range. Not very windy for us today. Still a little bit of a breeze as we get into Tuesday. We're going to have those winds kind of 10 to 15 miles per hour. Much of the same on Wednesday. So thankfully we're not dealing with the very extreme winds like we did see last week. Have some clouds shooting through, a few showers. Most of that's not even reaching the ground, but we do have some clouds kicking in, meaning kind of in and out of the clouds for us tonight into tomorrow as we get these weak waves kind of dropping in above this ridge of high pressure. And we'll get a little bit stronger storm system starting to work in late this week. Let's go hour by hour. We're going to stop 6:30 in the morning. Most of us 48 to 50. We'll call it partly cloudy skies. As we go through the morning, still partly cloudy skies. Temperatures pressing 70 by the noon hour. We'll go into the afternoon. Here's 4:30. About our high temperatures. I think most of us from about 71 to about 75 in our southern counties. Very similar to what we did see today. Still a few clouds in here tomorrow night into Wednesday morning. Our winds kind of switch out of the northeast. We're going to have partly cloudy skies again on Wednesday. May get a sprinkle or two, but I think in general it's going to be fine. I think really any rain stays to our south. Temperatures again on Wednesday right about 70 degrees. As we go into Wednesday night and Thursday morning, a little bit of moisture slides in, so we could see some scattered thunderstorms to start your day on Thursday. First off, day planner on your Tuesday, 50 to start, 68 by noon, high temp right around 73. Let's get into those other storm systems later on this week. So our first weak wave, Thursday, that could give us a few scattered showers and thunderstorms in the morning hours. This is going to press east once we get into Friday. Mainly our southern counties, but we are going to have chances to get some scattered showers and a few thunderstorms in here. But our stronger storm system, this moves in as we head into the weekend. So this is going to be Saturday evening. We'll have a front kind of draped across the region. Doesn't really look like much gets going until possibly after midnight. So we could have nocturnal thunderstorms into Sunday morning and then greater severe threat pushes east once we get into Sunday afternoon. So we are going to have to make our area in general a hot spot for Saturday night into Sunday morning with some strong, possibly low-grade severe storms. Still several days away, so we'll keep our eyes on this as we go through the next few days. 73 on Tuesday. Let's go 72 on a Wednesday. 77 though on Thursday. 73 Friday, near 80 on Saturday, with those chances to get some scattered thunderstorms in here heading into the weekend and then cooling down a bit as we kick off next week.
Loving those temps, and we'll deal with the storms.
Yeah, temps look great.
Thanks, Doug. Yeah, the good news is that temps are looking good. Lots of sunny days ahead. It is spring after all. It also, though, can mean some runny noses, some itchy, watery eyes because of allergies. KOAM's Lonnie Walton got some local expert advice that can help you feel a whole lot better.
I'm at Osborne Pharmacy in Miami, and I spoke to a local pharmacist who says, although there's no cure for allergies, there's things you can do to make you feel a lot better.
My eyes get runny and everything, but I just don't feel good.
Bruce Turner is a Miami local who struggles with allergies. He says he's thankful for his meds.
I take two different. I take one in the morning and one in the evening. It's usually when the wind's blowing strong.
And he's not the only one who needs those meds. Dr. Jack Osborne, a pharmacist from Osborne Drugs, says many have already been looking for relief. He says all many need is a few over-the-counter drugs.
They're called Flonase or fluticasone. This is the first-line therapy for really any type of allergy. It's a simple spray in each nostril once to twice a day.
And aren't you wondering what the doctor uses when he's not feeling well?
I take Allegra, which is a generic fexofenadine. Allegra is one of the ones that doesn't cause drowsiness.
And for those of you who don't like to use medicine, the pharmacist says there's some natural remedies like
Neti Pot. I try to use a Neti Pot once a month just to flush out your sinus cavity.
And Dr. Osborne says you should also be mindful for what drugs you choose to use, as some may cause drowsiness. Turner says he does what he can to keep his mind relaxed.
Usually just sit down and get a book, read to try to get my mind off of it.
Reporting in Miami, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Osborne says it's good to start taking allergy medicine right away because some can take up to 2 weeks to become effective. Now that story on the volunteer firefighter in Logan County, Oklahoma, who lost his home and his puppy while out protecting the community during last week's wildfires. The community is working to get him back on his feet. Olivia Hickey has the story.
It's very bittersweet. I did what I signed up to do, and I knew where my heart was at.
About 5 months ago, Jason Smith moved to his neighborhood in Guthrie to start a new chapter with a new home and a new puppy named Maxine.
I came here and I planted roots and got involved and started building right away.
It was all taken away last Friday in wildfires that burned over 100,000 acres, destroying over 400 homes. His first day on the job as a Meridian volunteer firefighter after months of training.
The smoke was so thick, it was unlike anything I've ever seen.
In our conversation, he explained finding out his neighborhood couldn't be saved was nerve-wracking, but it didn't stop him from fighting the flames with departments across the state.
You just can't leave doing what you're doing. You know, you're on assignment, you continue that assignment.
Now he's focused on the task at hand, putting his life back together piece by piece. Over $3,000 has been raised already to aid in this effort.
There hasn't been a moment go by that somebody hasn't texted me or called me and just made sure I'm all right and things are good moving forward. That's the Oklahoma way, is everybody just jumps in immediately. It's pure love.
While he's grateful for all the support, his focus remains on his friends and neighbors with less resources.
We're a tight-knit community and we all look out for each other, and there's just there's still one family that's not back here, and as far as missing their conversations and their smiles and their waves, it's a puzzle piece that's not there yet.
Neighbors helping neighbors. Still ahead, the Mid-America Baseball League announces the side for its playoffs this summer, and Pitt State women's basketball prepares to play in the Elite Eight. John Dales has those stories and more up next in sports.
Tonight is the night. A week removed from cutting down the nets in John Lance Arena, Pitt State women's basketball plays in the Elite Eight, hoping to take one more step towards winning a national championship. Now, the week of rest leading up until now is the most time that the Gorillas have had off since December. Pitt State is set to take on Lubbock Christian at 7:30. That will be the final game of the night over in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, with 3 others preceding it. PSU head coach Amanda David says getting to this point is the culmination of hard work dating back far beyond the first game of the regular season.
We're just excited to be here. We're grateful for the opportunity. That was the way we started our year, was really back in the summer. Same thing. We get our kids together for some camps that we do. And that was the first opportunity that we had our full team together, was back in June. And so I would like to think that when they scrimmaged and those kind of things, they're talking to us about, hey, this new addition we have is really good. We really like this and that. And they just started jiving. And but my message to them was just that we need to be grateful for anything that we get opportunities to do throughout the year.
And the 2024-25 college basketball season is over for our local men's teams, but the transfer portal keeps things interesting for the Gorillas and the Lions in the offseason. Both groups have had multiple players enter the portal recently. And this morning, Pittsburgh State guard and reigning MIAA Player of the Year Jordan Friesen announces on social media he is entering the transfer portal. The Gorillas sophomore says that in doing so, with the opportunity to return to Pitt State. Friesen averaged 18 points, 6 assists, and just under 4 rebounds per game this season. He scored a career-high 39 points in a win over Nebraska Kearney in the MIAA tournament. And he joins Yo-Yo Kursapu, a 6'2 junior from Estonia, as the only 2 players from Pitt State to enter the transfer portal since the season ended. Meanwhile, Missouri Southern has 4 members of its 24-25 team that have already entered the transfer portal. Freshman Tyreek Brooks, he averaged 13 points and 4 rebounds per game. He was the Lions' starting point guard this season, and sophomore Justin Duff, who averaged just over 6 points per game coming off the bench, as well as junior guard Jamari Lawrence. He averaged 4.5 points a game off the bench. Then freshman Cooper Francis, he saw action in just 6 contests. All 4 of them have entered the transfer portal. Closing things out with some baseball news, the Mid-America League announces today that Abilene, Texas will once again host its playoffs this summer. The Joplin Outlaws won the inaugural Mid-America League Championship, that was last August, by beating the Abilene Flying Bison on their home field. This year's playoffs are set to start on August 5th with the championship series taking place the 7th till the 9th. And that's it for sports. We're back after this.
Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Hail blanketed parts of southwest Missouri over the weekend. We're going to take you to some of the worst damage. Plus, Independence Community College explores the possibility of consolidating with another school. And states all across the nation compete with Hollywood to attract major production companies to film in their regions. Those stories, a lot more, of course, it's coming up tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. The temperatures this week looking good, Doug.
Yeah, they look really good. 73 tomorrow, 72 on Wednesday. We are going to have some clouds kind of sticking around the next couple days, but overall pretty good. Rain chances increasing later this week.
And final sports notes.
Looking forward to seeing if the Lady Gorillas can keep their basketball season alive. That game gets tipped off in about an hour.
Yeah, we wish them well. It's going to be exciting to see how they do. Thanks for joining us. We're going to see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Auto